So let's look at example 4. So now we're going to do another composition, but now we're looking at f of x. And in f of x, there are two different places where we have an x. So that means that we have to drop g of x into two different places. So I'm going to start by writing my f of x function using parentheses everywhere there's an x. So f of x says 2 times something squared minus 3 times something plus 4. And the something is x minus 3. And then we're ready to simplify it. Keep in mind that when you square something, you're multiplying it against itself. So we have 2 times x minus 3 times x minus 3 minus 3 times x minus 3 plus 4. So let's begin by multiplying x minus 3 times x minus 3. And that gives us x squared minus 6x plus 9. And then I'm just going to write the remainder of this function. And now let's distribute. Multiply our 2 and multiply our negative 3. So that gives us 2x squared minus 12x plus 18 minus 3x plus 9 plus 4. Combine our like terms, and we get 2x squared, and we combine our x's, which is a negative 12x and a negative 3x. That gives us negative 15x. And lastly, we will add our constants. 18 plus 9 is 27, and 27 plus 4 is 31. So that would be my composition of f of g of x. Let's go the other direction. Now let's take the f function and put it into the g function. Well, the g function is not as complicated, so that one will not require as many steps. So I'm going to write my g function, and my g function says something minus 3. And the something is my f function. When I write that in, I have 2x squared minus 3x plus 4. I don't need to distribute anything, so at this point I can drop my parentheses and combine my like terms. Positive 4 minus 3 gives us a final answer of 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. And that represents g of f of x. I took my f function and substituted it into the g function. So what this is asking us to do is find f of negative 2. And then after we find f of negative 2, put that answer into the g function. So let's start off by finding what is f of negative 2. So using my f function to find f of negative 2, I have 2 times negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 plus 4. So that gives us 18. So f of negative 2 is equal to 18. So now let's take the 18 and substitute it into g. So we're going to find g of 18, which would be 18 minus 3. So my final answer is 15. Pause the video at this time to see if you get the correct answer for f of g of 5. If you got 6, you got that correct. So I began by finding g of 5. So that's the first step, find g of 5. And then after we find g of 5, take our answer and put it into the f function. And when I take the 2, substitute it into f. In every place that there's an x, I substitute in 2. I get 6. So f of g of 5 is 6. So the last example I want to do has a rational and a square root. And we're going to take the g function and substitute it into the f function. So I'm going to take this function here and put it right there and simplify it. So that gives me 2 divided by something squared minus 7. And the something is the square root of x plus 3. So these are inverses. They're going to cancel. So we have x plus 3 minus 7. And then we combine our like terms. And we get 2 divided by x minus 4. And that is our composition.